hope you're all well and you had a good Christmas. So today's video is going to be on gym intimidation, if you haven't realised already. I thought it'd be a really good video to do and really helpful because it's something that I personally had to overcome myself, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with it and it can stop you from achieving the goals that you want to achieve. And I actually wanted to film this video when the gyms were open, but they're not open right now, well, in most places in the UK. But if there's people watching in other countries, then your gyms might be open, so you can use these tips. And actually these tips were most useful for me whilst we were in the lockdown, because you can practice getting over the intimidation before you're actually in the gym, so that's helpful too. So if you do follow me on Instagram, then you'll know that I did a poll. I mean, if you don't follow me, then you should go follow. If you do follow, then you'll know that I did a poll and I think about 200 people voted in it. It was basically on gym intimidation. So I firstly asked like if people go to the gym or not, and it was literally 50-50 split. Some people do, some people don't. And I understand that people have various reasons for not going, including like you might be doing another sport, or it might not be your thing. But there are a lot of people, and my poll proved this, who don't go because they feel shy, they feel intimidated by others in the gym, they lack the knowledge on what to do, and they don't have a partner to go with, or just generally don't know what to do there. So I thought that this video would be helpful. I'll come and be your guru, give you a few tips. So I did a poll on that, and 72% of people said that one of those things that I just listed is one of the reasons why they don't go. And that just makes me so upset, because I was in that box too for a while. Like, I've always been going to the gym or working out at home, but I've never quite reached my full potential because I felt scared and I lacked confidence. So hopefully I can help others and we can all be in the weight section together, or I mean achieving whatever goal you want. Mine personally was doing heavier weights, because I understand that that can be intimidating when you see these big guys there. Sorry, this video is a bit all over the place, but also I forgot to mention, so I did a third poll, which was people that already go to the gym, and 63% said they sometimes go to the gym and don't get their workout finished, or don't do everything that they wanted to do in the gym because they feel intimidated by others. And I was also in that category too, and I've only just got out of it. Like, I've only just realised that people aren't really focusing on me, and I should, if I want a machine and some big guys on it, I should just wait and go on it afterwards. I don't need to feel scared. So yeah, if you're like me and you do work out alone, it can seem really scary when you walk into the gym and you walk past what I used to actually call the big boy weight section, which probably isn't the best way to go about it, because that made me more and more intimidated, but that's what I used to call it because that's all I saw. Even the first time I went to my new gym, I can't remember when I joined, I think it was after the very first lockdown. Oh yeah, after I had a breakup. And I have been to the gym before this, but this is just an example from this new gym. The guy that was showing me around actually pointed to the cardio section and said, oh, off you go over there, start off over there. And I know that it's good to warm up with some cardio sometimes, but you can also achieve the same effect by just stretching your muscle. Or for all he knows, I may have just jogged to the gym. I didn't, but my plan did not have any cardio in it, and I wanted to use the weight section, and he pointed to me towards the cardio section, and I did remember thinking, right, if I was a big man with muscles, like, would he have pointed me in that direction? Like, he probably would have assumed that I was going to be using the weights. So it is kind of built into society and people's minds, like, oh, girls shouldn't be in that section. So that is why I wanted to make this video, because girls should be in that section. And it is one of the, weightlifting for me is one of the best ways that I've achieved the body that I want to achieve. well, I am achieving, because I'm constantly, I mean, as everyone is, I'm constantly growing and trying to improve. So yeah, so let's talk about my tips. So my number one first tip, so I'm going to talk in this video, as I have been already, as if you are intimidated to go into the like weight section, because that is where I personally feel more intimidated. If it's other sections, then I'm sure you can follow these tips, but I think most of the time that is where people are intimidated. But I do understand that everyone has different goals, so some people may be more intimidated to jump onto the treadmill for whatever reason. So you can use these tips for any section, but I'll be talking mainly on about my journey. My first tip, I'm kind of sorry if I keep looking down because I have my tips written there, but they're written so roughly, so I'm just gonna go and roll off and talk like this today. Usually I plan my videos out proper, but we'll just see how this goes. So my first number one tip is to plan your workout at home. So if you have no clue what you're doing or what you want to do in the gym or what you want to achieve, my first thing would be, I mean, you could even message me and ask me what you think you should be doing, if for what you want to achieve, and I'll direct you to some people on Instagram or some certain guides that you should buy. But my number one tip is to do research, and if research isn't your thing and you're not too good at it, then it would be to buy a guide. My personal favourite for me as a preference, the one that I started out using, was the Tammy Hembro one, because I really like her body and I thought, okay, let me try and achieve something similar with mine. And yeah, so I started using that. She's into weightlifting, that's the main thing that she does. It helped me to structure a plan. Right now I'm at the point where I don't use that app anymore and I have my own plans and I can figure out my own exercises, but at the start I was using that and following it to a T. So what that does is, if you have a plan, you know exactly what you're doing, you can Google the exercises or see them on the plan and see exactly how to do them, and when you walk into the gym you will know exactly where you're going, what you're doing, and it will make you feel so much more confident because you won't be standing there like, oh, what machine next? So that is one tip. So I understand that what I just said is a good tip, but what do you do if someone is at the machine that you plan to use on your plan and you like panic because you're like, oh my god, I'm just standing here? So my next tip is to try to not be afraid and talk to people at the gym. So I don't mean just talk to a random stranger and like just start convo and annoy someone during the workout, but you can talk to the people that work there. They're there for a reason, they're there to help you. If you don't know how to use a certain machine, you can just say, hey, like, how can you show me this one? I've done that and it seemed scary at first, but once you ask them questions or even just say hi, like when you walk in, if you start talking to them, you'll get more comfortable there and you'll feel like, okay, I've got this, I own this place, like, I know it, so I can do whatever I want, I can wait for this machine, I'm completely comfortable here. So that is my, like, leading on to my other tip. You should go as much as you can, like try and stick to the day. Well, I'm not saying go every day because I don't do that, but like, if you want to, and if that's what your plan is, to go every day, definitely go, even if you don't think you want to get a full workout in, because once you're there, as I said, you'll get comfortable there, and being comfortable there is the main thing, because once you start getting to know the place, you'll even recognize the people, different people going there at certain times, and you'll feel more comfortable. It's kind of like when, like, well, this is my way of describing it, I guess it's like joining a new school. The more you go, the more comfortable you start to feel in that environment. Like, at first you may not talk to many people, you might just stick down, study, but then you'll start talking and make friends. So that's the same thing with the gym. So once you feel more comfortable, you'll feel more comfortable to go into different areas of the gym and try out new things. There's some machines that I still haven't used because I'm like, oh, like, how do I use them? But I mean, there's only one, but but yeah, you just need to get comfortable in your gym. So for the tip I just gave, if you really struggle to, like, as I said, get comfortable in the gym as a starting point, then my next piece of advice would be to go to the gym at times where there wouldn't necessarily be more people, like it'll be more empty. So I mean, right now during, well, when we're able to go back to the gyms, I'm sure they'll still have a limit on the number of people, and that's one thing that helped me to feel more secure and like confident in working out, because we all know that it is scary when there's loads of people there, like, because then there's more people that you feel intimidated by, or you could feel intimidated by. So if you have time to do this, like a lot of spare time like me, then I tend to go to the gym, like I would say 11 AM on a weekday, or like 2 PM on a weekday, where most people are at work or school or uni, or doing things like that, or really early on a weekend, or really late on a Friday or Saturday night. That is before coronavirus and lockdown, blah blah blah, but those times are good. I would say sometimes maybe you do get a few more weirdos, because only weird people get that time. No, but I mean like creepy people, but there's people in the gym working usually, so you are safe. But yeah, that's my tip if you struggle to get to a comfortable place because you feel scared about different people being there. So yeah, it would just be to go at those times. My next piece of advice is, this links to the one about having a plan. This is one that you can do during lockdown. So if there's a certain exercise that you don't want to stand in the gym and look silly because you're doing it wrong, and also if, like me, what actually does happen to me a lot, guys come and tell me how I can do an exercise better, and they tell me their own variation that works for them. It has happened multiple times for me, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't mean I'm doing the exercise wrong, they just show me a different variation, and I think most of the time they might just be thinking of an excuse to talk to me, but I don't want it and I don't need it. And it does make me feel uncomfortable. So then I think, are people watching me? And I have even had a guy come up to me and tuck my label into my sports bra in the gym without asking me. Or I mean, not that that's something you should even be asking or doing, but he has took it upon himself to go and tuck my label into my sports bra because it was hanging out. So I mean, I have experienced intimidating situations in the gym, and yeah, I've been told what to do. So if you are scared about that, my advice would be to plan your exercises beforehand and do the exercises at home without any kind of weight, as if you're doing weights. And for example, a deadlift, I wasn't too confident on doing deadlifts, I didn't really know how to do them. I googled it, I researched, I looked and watched people doing them. There's loads of different types, by the way, and I would do the movement at home with my back and everything, and I would do it without weight, just looking in the mirror to get the exact right movement, like pretending I was holding a weight, so that when I was able to go to the gym and start adding weight, I was so used to the movement that I could do it swiftly and I didn't feel embarrassed like, oh, I might be doing it wrong, because I know that I have practiced this from the videos and I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just making it heavier. So that's my advice. Practice makes permanent, but if you are doing it correctly, it will be perfect. So my final piece of advice is to, as I said, keep going and push through, and not think about it on a bigger scale, and just think people are at the gym to work out and to improve their health, fitness, mind, mental state, body, whatever they want. They have their own goals in the same way that I'm sure you probably do. So when you go to the gym, you're not thinking about someone else's goals, you're not focusing on what they want to do, so they're not doing the same for you. So even though someone may watch you and someone may make weird comments, come and tuck your label in your sports bra, that's a rare occasion, and they are usually, if they try and make comments, they might be trying to help, but you just need to ignore and not let that affect your workout, because you are there for you, and if you want to see results, you have to put the effort in, and no one else is going to change that except you. So I know it's so much easier said than done, and it takes a while, but if you do follow a few of the steps I've given and try and just keep remembering that no one actually cares about your workout except you, so you should be doing it. And I mean, if you can't do that, then maybe the reason isn't intimidation, and it might just be simple, like down to the case of motivation, which I know a lot of people lack, and it is something that I probably will talk about. I mean, I think I have a video on motivation, but I don't know if it's gym based, but a lot of people do ask me how I stay motivated, and I just think it's the case of being disciplined on days where you don't feel motivated, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, my advice, keep pushing through, keep going, you set your own goals, you achieve them. So one last point linking to that is that you have to channel your exact goals and think of why you're at the gym, because you are at the gym to improve yourself in whatever way that may be. And for me personally, it's my happy place, it makes me feel good. I actually use the fact that other people are there to motivate me more, and because I feel pressured to get in a good workout and not slack, whereas if I'm at home I may slack a bit more. But you need to remember while you're there, set your goals, because if you have goals set and in place, you're more likely to achieve them and not let others get in the way, because you are so focused on your own goals. Whereas if you're just there not really knowing what you're doing, as I mentioned, like having a plan, blah blah blah, yeah, then you will start looking at others and comparing, or whatever you do. And just remember that if you were one of those people in the polls that said that the reason that you don't go is intimidation, just think about it on a bigger scale, because that shouldn't be something that stops you from reaching your potential, because that's really sad. Like, and I don't mean that in a patronizing way or like rude way, I just mean it is upsetting to hear that other people are preventing you. Not even other people, what you think other people are thinking prevents you from reaching your best potential. And yeah, you don't want to let that happen. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you want to see in the next one. But I was thinking of doing my next video on how I edit my Instagram pics, like what filters I use and blah blah blah, what apps, like. But let me know if you want to see that in the comments, or if you want some more motivation or gym style videos. But yeah, as I said, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're a new person watching this, and follow my Instagram, because then you can join in on my polls. See you in the next one.